All right, it looks like I'm live, but this is unannounced, so I know, most of you are probably in bed, you're probably sleeping, but I know a lot of you are awake and you're stressing out and you're anxious. So I'll give you a minute to trickle in, because I know some of you are still up, and even though I'm, here in Massachusetts, it's actually 1:11 here. Let me know if you're here. Come say hi. I'm in my pajamas. I am comfortable. Hello. Okay. Hi, everyone's trickling in. Okay. Here's the thing, guys, and I didn't do the settings where only my subscribers can comment. So, I mean, if a troll comes in, I don't care. But yeah, see, like everybody is defeated, everybody has given up, everybody's anxious, and I don't understand why, because this is actually what I predicted. I think maybe some of you either heard what you wanted to hear or you were confusing me with another reader. So, just to be clear, what I have been saying is I never saw the blue wave. I know you guys wanted me to see a blue wave, and I never said there was going to be a blue wave. I also said women were not going to show up in record numbers for her. And some of you sent me really nasty letters, saying I'm not a feminist. And I said, it's not that. I just don't see it. A lot of you said, you just knew Texas and Florida was going to turn blue. And I said, no, they're not turning blue. I don't see that. But you're forgetting the biggest thing that I said. We're not going to truly know for quite some time. That I said it's going to be insane for months. That's the part you're forgetting. The chaos, the going back and forth. I said, if you think that a winner, and I've said this, go back, look at my videos. If you think that they know who the winner is, like if you feel like you think you know who the winner is right now, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Right, but also too, some of you are getting like ridiculously anxious. I mean, I understand, it's upsetting. Of course it's upsetting. We don't want him as president. But at the same time, I did tell you to expect this. I was trying to brace you for this moment. And so, I don't know what else to say. I think that some of you really confused me with other people. I never saw a blue wave. I didn't see women coming out in record numbers. I didn't see Texas and Florida strangely becoming blue. I never said any of that. I said, we're not going to know. And what did I say too? I said, it's not going to be a landslide. I got so many nasty letters about that because this psychic and that psychic said it's going to be a landslide. And I kept saying it's not going to be a landslide for anybody on any side. It just isn't going to be a landslide. Every vote was going to count in this, but also, right, it's going to go on. No matter what happens in the next 24 hours, things are going to be contested. Things are going to court. Things are going to go back and forth. So, I mean, a lot of you, it's like, I think you took the pieces that you wanted to hear. And you kind of went with that. I don't know what else to say. Oh God, recounts. There's going to be recounts upon recounts upon recounts. Oh, yeah. And first of all, they haven't even counted all of the ballots, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And so, yeah, right. Yeah, Florida was done a little too fast, right? So, I mean, some of these things are going to be looked at. So, stop. I told you that this is going to happen. Now it's happening, and you're all acting surprised, and I don't get it. Um, right. Yeah, this is just, it's crazy. Um, So I don't know what else to say. I was as accurate as humanly possible that it wasn't going to be a landslide. I never said a blue wave. I never said women in record numbers, any of that. And, yeah, I mean, it is a sad reflection of our society. Yeah, and somebody made a really good comment. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, you listen to way too many different psychic channels. And here's the thing, the psychic channels on either side. So like a lot of them said, every Democrat's going to win every race. It's going to be an absolute blue wave, end of story. I get it. Like, it gets you more viewers. It's very clickbaity. It works. As a content creator, that sort of thing works, when you kind of sensationalize things. Um, but I think the majority of you kept listening to the people saying it's going to be a landslide. And I was like, no, every vote is going to count. Please go out and vote. Um, yeah, I mean, the thing is, don't be sorry that people are attacking me. I don't care. I am, a YouTuber. No, Bridget, he did not win. And that's the thing I'm going to say. We are not going to know who has won for quite some time. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, I was right on point. I know. I told you this was going to happen. I knew you guys were going to be upset. I tried bracing you for this moment. This moment is here. So take a deep breath. Don't fall into fear and despair. It's not over. Now how they go forward and all that, I don't know. But it's going to just keep getting contested. And like I told you guys that it was just going to, like I told you, when we go to bed, we're not going to know, and we're not going to know the next day or the day after. Well, I think Merrick Garland has a lot to answer for at this point, right? I think, there's a lot of issues there. Well, right, exactly, Diana. When you woke up and you saw that they're calling all battleground states 445, it's a little suspicious, right? So we know something's a little off, because that's not, I mean, that wouldn't be right for either side, for like every battleground state to be just called like that. Because I was watching it, as well as you guys were. That would be really a little bit odd for either side to do something like that. And so, yeah, we know, but yeah, so even now, like, even though I'm speaking, you guys still aren't listening. It's amazing. Um, yeah, so take a deep breath. I have no idea what you guys are writing that's being held for review. I have no idea. But I also wanted to come on because I saw like nobody else was coming on either. So Yeah, so some of you still aren't listening. You're saying the math's not there. And I'm saying, look, there's something else at play here. So it's going to just go through this process of recounting and all of that. I'm not worried over it. I mean, first of all, whatever is going to happen is going to happen, right? You can only kind of like worry so much. But right. Yes, Suska. I mean, there's cards, right? When you pull the cards are all confused and like really mixed up, which is what I told you. And I said, I kept telling you the cards on election day were bad. The cards for December were bad. But then something happened in January. And so, I don't think that's really changed. Yeah, so some of you still aren't listening to me, and I don't know how to make you understand. Yeah, but Alaska doesn't matter one way really or the other. I mean, in terms of numbers. But I can pull a couple of cards, just taking a look. Yeah, I put off really looking at the Senate, the House, and all of that for quite some time because, I mean, first of all, it's overwhelming to look at that many people. It's a lot easier to look, like, person by person and that sort of thing. But yeah, I told you guys it was going to be insane, and now the insanity's here, and everybody's acting surprised, and I don't get it. The cards, and also too, we knew that no matter what happened, we knew from before that he was going to claim victory, no matter what. Even if he had like one vote, the man was going to claim victory, right? So, but let's see if any energies have changed. And I mean, I feel at peace. I have to say, I feel at peace. After this, I'm going to bed, snuggle my Annie, and then get up and work. Life goes on. I knew that this was going to happen, which is why I kept sharing it with you guys. I was a little disappointed that some of the other, YouTubers didn't come on and say anything, but yes, Olivia, I don't know why you're shocked. I mean, just the fact that you're shocked tells me that you don't believe me. And if you don't believe me, then why are you watching me, I guess? Because I said women are not, but I think you guys listen to the ones that say what you want to hear. And that's so frustrating. I know you all wanted to hear women were coming out in record numbers and voting for Kamala. And I kept saying, no, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. In my personal life, I do not know one woman that voted for Kamala. The people that I know voted were you guys. And I live in a liberal state surrounded by progressive people. And so, it's going to all be contested. And that's what I'm saying. He's going to do his victory lap. We knew that. I told you that months ago. He's going to do the victory lap, but he was going to do the victory lap even if he got like a partial half of a vote that's torn in the mail. I mean, he would have taken a victory lap. We know that, right? That's who he is. But I'm just reading your comments. If you look at this after the fact, I'm looking at all the comments. I mean, this would also be like the first time too that like Alan Lichtman's keys would be wrong. And so then we have to start looking at something bigger. And I think that's what's going to happen. These bigger things are going to start getting looked at. Because they call the battleground states like that. I was a little shocked. So, I mean, we know that what we're seeing just isn't real. It's not true. It's way too early to see who won. So let's see. And take the last card. So it's interesting. So when I look at Kamala's cards, you know, ending one phase of her life, about to start a new one. Right now, her obstacle is she's kind of like just there waiting for her ship to come in. She's really depending upon her community to pull through. This is her having talks with other people, you know, going back and forth, chatting with others, Three of Pentacles. Things are getting figured out. And then there's something that we learn. There's something to be learned from this. There's something that we don't know, right? The Hermit is about enlightenment. There is something that we're going to be learning in the midst of all of this. And so I think we just need to sit tight. This is playing out exactly how I thought it would. As I kept telling you guys, I, once again, never saw a landslide, never saw a blue wave, never saw women coming out in record numbers. Go back and watch my videos. Never saw Florida and Texas flipping blue. I had some hopes for some of the other states. There was a few states that I had some pretty good hopes for. Oh, thank you, Cosmic Magic Makers. I appreciate you. But despite that, you know, I think that there is a path to victory, but not in what you're thinking. There is nothing traditional about this. Okay? There's nothing normal. There's nothing typical about how any of this is playing out. And so it's going to be contested. You know, it's going to keep going back. Yeah, I know. Cash Peters saw it, and I have a tendency to agree with Cash. And the reason that I have a tendency to agree with Cash is that he is the only other one other than me that recognizes that there's different timelines. And I think once you understand that there's different timelines, and we all end up in different timelines at different times, you start to understand that there's like a whole world of possibilities. So because I do want to go to sleep, you know, and have a good night, I am going to turn the comments off on this, you know, because the thing is, I'm not going to feed into the negativity. I may turn off my comments on like a lot of my videos, because I think either you understand that this is going to be a process. We're going to go through what we need to go through, and it is what it is, you know. Bridget wonders how we keep getting on the scary timeline. Because as light workers, we take the harder timelines. If we kept taking the easier timelines, then what would be the point of having an incarnation, right? So, you know, we take on these, you know, difficult ones for a reason. It doesn't matter what he's been declared. I don't care. I mean, because he was going to be declared king for the day anyways. I don't care, you know, what they say. You know, and I definitely do agree with Cash on that. You know, like that was going to happen no matter what, you know, it didn't matter. But exactly, Michael, we signed up for this. Yes. I know sometimes you're like, how did I agree to this? Like, why did I agree to this? So I do see a lot of craziness. I see a lot of chaos. Remember how I kept telling you guys, like, I stopped reading on the election day. I stopped reading on the day where they were supposed to certify things. And I started getting further out into the future. And then it's like, yeah, then we're good. So, you know, so take a deep breath. Well, I think we're probably moving past the red mirage, to answer your question, Marjorie. Because first of all, when it first all comes in, it's always red, right? It's always red because that's just the way it works. It's those states that report first, and I didn't see those states, changing. So, oh my gosh, there's so many people commenting all at once. But yeah, I wanted to come on where I saw like nobody else was, and and some people were getting like fearful and whatnot. Take a deep breath. This is exactly what I predicted, that we wouldn't know and that it would be sheer chaos, leading right up into the next year, with who's going to be the winner. And thank you, Rosa. Um, how do I tolerate all the input? I honestly don't care. And I say that like in the nicest way possible, that it's none of my business what you think of me. I grew up in the ballet world, and you don't get much harsher than that. So take a deep breath. I think this is something that probably the courts are going to decide. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate you. And so, yeah, things are at play here that I think we've never seen. And I do think stuff's going to be coming out about Elon for sure. I don't think he is a decent human being. Let's put it that way. But, take a nice deep breath. Yes, Elizabeth Warren got reelected. Of course, that's what I like about living in Massachusetts. We don't have these worries. Thank you, Rose Blue. There's still many votes to arrive and count. Yes. Can we please acknowledge that? I already said it's going to come down to every last vote. How soon will we know? Okay, how many times do I have to say it? It's like I talk, but nobody's listening. Weeks to months. This is going to be unprecedented. And so he's going to do his victory lap. So get prepared. I'm king. I'm dictator. I won. He's going to do it. He was going to do it anyways, though. It didn't matter. We knew that. And so, oh my goodness. I like all the other people in the ballet world that grew up in the ballet world. That's like, yeah, thank you, A Park. So yes. I actually took a nap. I went to bed, which is why I'm in my pajamas. And I fell asleep fine. I did my meditation. Thank you, Leslie. And elephant wildlife, how will they prove cheating? That will be interesting, because I think we're stepping into like uncharted territory here. But I think it's going to be something for the courts to deal with. But it is what it is. I told you this was going to happen. I told you it was going to be chaotic. And for the millionth time, I never, ever saw a blue wave. I never, ever saw a landslide. I never, ever saw women coming out in record numbers for Kamala. I think some of us, it's very easy, like say for someone like me in Massachusetts to, be in a bubble, but even in Massachusetts, I don't know one woman, other than like say my husband, I don't even know another person who was even voting for Kamala. So, keep that in mind. This is coming down to every last vote. But the thing is, the votes are going to take days to count, and things are going to change and shift. Donna, you're in Attleboro, so you're not too far from me. I have family in Attleboro. And so, I get it. The other ones that said, the Democrats are going to win every single thing, and huge landslide, huge blue wave, blah, 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 all this other stuff. I never saw it, and I did get, a lot of nasty feedback, which is fine. You do you. sit there and write me a letter, like, if that makes you happy. But at the end of the day, I don't care. You can't do this, and you know, yeah. See, so then we have people like Mimi Rose. How did every psychic get it wrong? Goodbye to democracy. So you listen to nothing that I just said. So I think in light of that, where people are literally just living in their own world and you're not listening to anything that I'm saying, there's kind of like no point to me continuing to talk. So I am going to go to bed. Um, yeah, Cash did predict chaos and it would take weeks to months. Yes. Yep. I agree with them. And so, it's going to play out. We now need to let it play out. We're in uncharted territories. So, all right, my friends, take a deep breath. We're going to be fine. You know, um, you know, yes, thank you. Yes, keep your vibes high. Yeah, Azalea, a lot of readers said there's going to be problems. Yes, I think, because when you pull the cards, you can see the chaos. So, but the other thing too is if you pull cards on Trump, they don't look good either. So it's not like when you pull cards on him, it looks like it's all roses. Um, so there we go. So take a deep breath, let this play out. All right. All right, everybody, have a good night. I will definitely, because I want to just be able to focus on work tomorrow. Oh, today, actually. I'm going to turn comments off on probably most of my things so I can just focus. But I will see you guys in a day or two. Bye, everybody.